Blood is thicker than water. On its face, it's an obvious and technically correct statement. I mean, blood's viscosity, its thickness comes from plasma proteins, and platelets, and a cocktail of cellular material that makes it thick. And under the proper circumstances, like trauma, it'll even coagulate into a solid. So yeah, it makes sense. It's a statement of fact. But the expression, who says it? I mean, besides Italian and Jewish mothers. But it's the holidays, and this time of year, we all tend to hear it a bit more often. Some of us more often than others, of course. Thanksgiving is the only 2 weeks away, and I sure hope everybody's got their plans in order. If your family was anything like mine growing up, trying to navigate the genealogical and transgenerational minefield of Italian family invitations and dynamics could leave you with PTSD or getting the cold shoulder from half your family, or maybe even get you banished to eating alone at Arby's next Easter. But that was Thanksgiving. The thought of my Aunt Molly's bone-dry stuffing or straight from the canned cranberry sauce, jiggling like cloudy red jello made from the mold of a hobo's tin stove, would fill me with dread. Because, God forbid you didn't demand seconds, it would bring shame to my entire half of the family. That was Thanksgiving. But what about you? Do you get vaguely nauseous at the thought of having to choose between talking politics with your brother, who's going to wear his Biden and Harris beanie at the dinner table, or maybe listening to his wife discuss in painful detail the latest episode of Real Housewives of Canton, Ohio, like it was directed by Stanley Kubrick? Meanwhile, the dark, shameful truth is that all you want to do is go hang out at your best friend's house for Thanksgiving. His mom makes those yams with the brown sugar and tiny marshmallows on top. And his cousin always has some halfway decent weed that gets partaken of between the turkey and salad. And his father gets loaded in the basement and tells wild stories about going AWOL in Bangkok during the Vietnam War. Now that's Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, that's right. Before, you say anything, not all Italians are good cooks. And by the way, salad is served after dinner, right before dessert, coffee, and nuts. That was a Brooklyn thing. I can't speak for the Bronx or Staten Island. And I could always count on my mom right around the holidays reminding me of my ancestral obligations. It's Aunt Molly's turn this year, and Uncle Louie isn't well. He may not be around next year, and Joseph, blood is thicker than water. I was always Joe or Joey, so when I heard Joseph, that was the sound of the hilt of the knife hitting against my ribs. That dreaded phrase, blood is thicker than water, pregnant with manipulative guilt. Uncle Louie, by the way, was that guy with bushy, wayward eyebrows, aggressively uneducated, but nevertheless highly opinionated about everything. He still hadn't forgiven my long-dead grandfather for not returning a rusty old pair of pliers. He smelled like a barbershop, and you could count on him to undo his belt and crack that top button of his pants halfway through dinner. Unfortunately, that was Thanksgiving. We showed up holiday after holiday because, blood is thicker than water. But here's the thing. That's not the saying, and it's not what it was supposed to mean. The original proverb in its entirety is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. It actually means the exact opposite, meaning that the bonds we choose are stronger than the ones that we were simply born into. The people we fight beside, bleed beside, suffer, laugh, cry, and struggle beside. That's our tribe, our group, our posse, our band of brothers or sisterhood. Our bond to those brethren transcends and eclipses the mere genetic tethering. Somewhere along the way, the first half got lost, probably the product of a collusive effort among a coven of Italian and Jewish mommy witches. What started as a tribute to chosen loyalty became a slogan for family obligation. And it's funny how culture edits its own scripture, trimming away the dangerous parts until all that's left is comfort or guilt. But maybe the old version still breathes in us. Every time we meet someone who feels more like family than family ever did, that's the blood of the covenant calling. In the end, it's not about who shares your DNA. It's about who shares your becoming and your table. Giving thanks for fraternity and the love of togetherness. So as we prepare to invite or respond to invitations for the upcoming holidays, keep in mind that family is a state of mind. And stay away from that cranberry sauce. Food for thought. And happy Thanksgiving.